On the Sea of Japan, the waves with whitecaps gently lapped against the side of the boat as the early light illuminated the water. The professional fishermen, who are accustomed to a life on the water, woke up extremely early, prepared long fishing lines, baited hooks, and started their voyage to look for big moray eels, which are one of the most enigmatic and terrible predators in the ocean. This was a sign that the fishing day would be tough, but also promising. The moray eel in question has a lengthy body, scales that are smooth scales, thick skin, and teeth that are particularly sharp, like razor blades. With no pelvic fins, they are able to conceal themselves in the cracks and crevices of reefs and coral reefs. Moray eels can be several meters long and weigh tens of kilograms, making it difficult to capture. They are ready to pounce on their food at remarkable speeds, but they are also difficult to trap. When fishermen are not attentive, they run the risk of suffering significant injury from a bite from this species. Wearing life jackets, thick gloves, and long fishing lines with robust steel hooks, the men aboard the boat were prepared for the water. They patiently waited until they felt a powerful tug, which indicated that the eel was hooked, and then they released the lines into the water. The eel thrashed frantically and opened its lips in a menacing manner when it was brought to the surface. In order to prevent themselves from being bitten by the beast, some fishermen used iron hooks to hold it tightly, while others immediately hit its head. Following the successful capture of the moray eel, it was transported back to the dock, where skilled chefs were poised and ready to transform it into mouth-watering delicacies. Sashimi, made from moray eel, is one of the exceptional meals, and each slice requires a certain level of ability. An arrangement of perilla leaves, grated radish, and spicy wasabi is placed on a platter alongside the tender, fresh white meat that has been thinly sliced. You will find that the fatty slices of flesh melt in your mouth, leaving behind a flavor that is reminiscent of the ocean. Additionally, moray eel is steamed with ginger and green onions, which helps to maintain its natural sweetness and aroma. Sashimi is another preparation method for moray eel. In a steamer, the eels are placed for cooking. Steam rises and distributes a delicious aroma, which stimulates the taste receptors and causes them to taste more. When the eels are marinated with soy sauce, mirin wine, and a little bit of sugar, and then grilled over hot coals until the outer skin is crispy, the grilled meal is just as appealing as it is when using the traditional method. The beef on the inside is tender and mingled with various spices. Every single dish that is prepared using moray eel is not just a culinary adventure, but also the culmination of a great deal of hard work. Persistent and passionate about their work, Japanese fishermen have been able to bring precious ingredients from the ocean to Japan, where they have been transformed into high-quality dishes that are served to the public. The story of their voyage is not just about hunting, but also about the pride they feel in a culinary culture that has been there for a very long time. Each dish combines the spirit of both nature and human hands. Not only are enormous moray eels used as ingredients in cuisine of the highest caliber after they have been caught, but they also serve as a demonstration of the extensive experience that Japanese fishermen possess. They are well versed on every aspect of the eel's behavior, including how it hunts, when it is most active, and the risks associated with getting too close to it. It is not merely a profession, rather, it is an art, and every fisherman needs to possess the qualities of expertise, sensitivity, and bravado. When the boat finally comes to a stop at the end of a laborious day at sea, the eels are transported to the fish market. The size, color, and freshness of each eel are the criteria that experienced dealers use to evaluate them. The ones that are the largest, plumpest, and have shining skins are the ones that are offered at expensive costs. Expensive end restaurants frequently purchase them in order to produce dishes that are excellent. Moray eels are distinguished by their thick skin, which can be served separately as a specialty dish. This is one of the moray eel's distinctive characteristics. Once they have been skinned, they are boiled in ginger water to get rid of the fishy smell. After that, they are sliced and soaked in ponzu sauce, which is a sweet and sour sauce. When this layer of skin is consumed, it imparts a crisp sensation, which, when combined with the invigorating flavor of lemon and the somewhat salty flavor of Japanese soy sauce, results in a delicious experience. In addition, the heads and bones of the eels are not thrown away. A rich broth is created by simmering them, which can then be utilized to make soup or as a foundation for foods such as ramen and udon. The inclusion of moray eel soup in a bowl of noodles imparts a natural sweetness and richness, allowing guests to experience the flavor of the ocean to its fullest extent. On chilly winter days, moray eel hot pot is the ideal option for warming the body and satisfying the craving for warmth. As a result of dipping fresh eel slices in a pot of boiling hot pot and combining them with veggies and mushrooms, the resulting flavor is sweet yet robust. The fact that this dish is not only delicious, but also nutritious, makes it an excellent choice for restoring health after a long day of labor. It is impossible to avoid mentioning the grilled eel prepared in the form of kabayaki, in which the eels are marinated with care and then grilled over charcoal until the outer skin is golden brown and emits a pleasant aroma. When you bite into it, the crispiness of the skin contrasts with the softness, fattiness, and richness of the interior. In addition to being a popular meal in Japan, this dish has also gained popularity in a great number of other nations. In order to become a symbol of eel cuisine, the voyage from the sea to the table involves a succession of chores that require a great deal of attention to detail and complexity. Each individual, whether they are fishermen, traders, or chefs, contributes to the creation of a perfect circle by presenting exquisite delicacies that are made from big moray eels. When people take a mouthful of sashimi or a bowl of hot soup, they not only experience the rich flavor, but they also gain an understanding of the stories that lie behind the dish. There have been accounts of people who have developed a strong connection to the ocean, boats that have set sail, and even terrifying moments when they were confronted by one of the most dangerous predators in the ocean. The life of a moray eel fisherman is not just a vocation, but it is also an essential component of the culture and tradition of Japan. Not only are they skilled fishermen, but they are also experts on the water, ocean currents, weather, and the behaviors of every variety of marine organism that inhabits the ocean. Because moray eels are not like other fish, but rather are actual predators that can be hazardous to anyone who is irresponsible. Fishing for moray eels demands patience, expertise, and daring. Moray eels are not what you would expect them to be. Immediately after the boat departs the dock, the fishermen double-check their long fishing lines, bait, and protective gear to ensure that they are secure. They are aware that a bite from a moray eel can result in severe injuries, including the amputation of a finger, if adequate precautions are not taken. Consequently, each time they take an eel out of the water, they are required to maintain a firm grip on the rope and make delicate adjustments to it in order to ensure that the animal does not have the opportunity to launch a counterattack. At times, the moray eel is capable of thrashing so forcefully that it can splash water from the ocean, which results in a scenario that is incredibly suspenseful and dramatic. When you are at sea, a day can last from sunrise till dusk. Even though the sun is scorching, the fishermen continue to pull the net and cast the line with great care, all the while waiting for the enormous eels to be caught. They communicate with one another by nodding and giving directions that are brief but powerful. This is due to the fact that in the middle of the ocean, even a minor mistake might lead to consequences that were not anticipated. As soon as they have captured a sufficient number of eels, they pull the rope, inspect the items, and then start the trek back to the mainland. Following their arrival at the docks, the enormous moray eels are promptly brought to the crowded seafood markets. Across the entire area, one can hear the cries of sellers. Buyers and sellers assess the situation in a short amount of time, establish pricing, and then negotiate with one another. Luxury dining establishments will be in a hurry to purchase the eels that are the freshest, have the largest sizes, and have the most gorgeous colors. Smaller ones, as well as those that have scratches, will be sold to processing plants, where they will be pre-processed into products that are either ready to eat or frozen. In the event that they are not treated in the appropriate manner, moray eels have a minor quantity of toxins in their meat, which is one of the unique characteristics of these fish. In order to ensure that they are thoroughly cleaned and processed, skilled cooks need to exercise considerable caution. The thick skin is removed, the innards are cleaned, and the soft white meat that is contained therein is filtered out on a filter. In order to create premium sashimi, well-known sushi chefs can transform moray eels into thin, transparent slices that are delicately arranged on the presentation plate. Many customers enjoy grilled eel prepared in the Japanese style, in addition to sashimi, which is a popular choice. Skewering the eels, brushing them with a rich sauce, and grilling them over charcoal until they are golden brown and release an enticing aroma are the steps involved. In the process of consumption, the skin becomes crisp, while the flesh on the interior becomes tender and fatty, resulting in an ideal combination of flavor and texture. In addition, moray eel is sometimes prepared in the form of a hot pot, with a fragrant soup for exclusive occasions. The eel pieces are thrown into a pot of hot pot, where they are cooked to perfection while preserving their natural sweetness. They are then combined with green vegetables, mushrooms, and various types of seafood. By the time they are taken up, they have been soaked in the broth and are melting in the mouth, providing diners with a feeling that is both warm and pleasant. Despite the fact that the moray eel has a frightening appearance, it can be transformed into a beautiful element by those who are familiar with its processing. This can help in the creation of recipes that are both distinctive and appealing. With their unwavering commitment and passion for their work, Japanese fishermen have been instrumental in bringing this marine creature from the depths of the ocean to the table, delivering a gastronomic experience that will live long in the memory. Following the transportation of moray eels to the fish market and the subsequent sorting of them, the subsequent stage is to preserve and process them in order to maintain their maximum level of freshness. As a result of the fact that moray eel meat is highly prone to decomposition if it is not treated promptly, fishermen are required to have initial processing methods directly on the boat from the moment they capture the fish, maintaining the health of moray eels as soon as they are captured. In the moment that they pull the eels out of the water, fishermen immediately use a specialized knife to make a cut into the brain or cervical vertebrae of the eel. This helps to avoid convulsions, which can later cause harm to the texture of the meat, and it also helps to keep the freshness of the meat, which is a significant contributing factor. The eels are then submerged in ice water to bring their body temperature down as rapidly as possible once they have been killed. A number of contemporary fishing vessels are equipped with freezers or extremely cold seawater storage systems, which are set at -60°C in order to maintain the freshness of eels for a longer period of time. Using this method of preservation, eel meat is able to keep its quality and freshness even after being carried across great distances or shipped to other nations. When the ship arrives at the port, the moray eels will be divided into 3 primary categories by the classification system. Quality A eels are those that are huge, free of wounds, have smooth skin, and meat that is firm. It is frequently marketed to upscale restaurants for the purpose of grilling or sashimi. Grade B eels are ones that have a few minor scratches, a suitable candidate for preparation into a stew or a hot pot. Grade C eels, those that are smaller, or those that have shapes that are defective. The production of marine spices frequently involves drying, freezing, or grinding the ingredients into powder, creating appealing dishes out of moray eels through processing. Immediately following their selection, Grade A eels will be processed by trained chefs in order to be transformed into delectable delicacies. Shashi eel, from the moray, that which is fundamental to Japanese cuisine. This is a meal that needs a high level of competence because only chefs with years of experience can properly handle moray eel when preparing it. In the beginning, a cut is made along the body of the eel, which allows the thick outer skin to be removed. After that, the white meat that is contained therein will be sliced very thinly and presented in a lovely manner on a platter. Wasabi, soy sauce, and herbs will be served with the slices. A sweet flavor can be found in moray eel sashimi. Despite the fact that it is slightly chewy, the flesh nevertheless manages to keep its suppleness, particularly when mixed with ponzu sauce that is both sweet and sour. This is a dish that is not only delicious but also an excellent source of nutrition. The food is high in protein and low in fat. Rich and enticing flavor of the moray eel that has been roasted over charcoal. A scent that is distinctive to the moray eel will be produced when it is roasted on a charcoal burner. The flesh on the interior is fatty, while the skin on the outside is crispy. To bring out the natural flavor of the eel, it is marinated with soy sauce, mirin, sugar, and ginger before being grilled. This helps to bring out the natural flavor. After it has been cooked, the eel is chopped into little pieces, roasted sesame seeds and green onions are sprinkled on top, and freshly made white rice is served alongside it. Hot pot with moray eel, a dish that is filling and perfect for cold days. The chunks of eel are first chopped into bite-sized pieces, and then they are dipped into a pot of hot pot that is boiling. The fish bones, seaweed, and vegetables that are used to make the broth for the hot pot are cooked together to provide a flavor that is sweet without the use of MSG. To further enhance the flavor of the eel, some people like to dip it in yuzu sauce or garlic soy sauce before eating it. Moray eel that has been steamed, so keeping its inherent sweetness. One method of preparation that is not only straightforward but also aesthetically pleasing is to simmer the eel with ginger, green onions, and a small amount of sake. The inherent sweetness of the meat is preserved by the use of this process, but the smell of fish is fully eradicated. When cooked, the eel takes on a milky white color. In addition to being tender and flavorful, the meat can be consumed with either rice or soba noodles. A Japanese delicacy that is one of a kind is dried moray eel. Moray eels are dried by certain fishermen so that they can be preserved for a longer period of time.
In order to prepare the eels for drying in the natural sunlight, they are first cut in half, washed, and then marinated with sea salt. The eel meat dries up after a few days, and it can be grilled or fried. It is a particularly popular snack in izakaya taverns, where it is usually served. A conclusion to the journey, which began at the sea and ended at the temple.